Woo! Welcome everybody. It is Thursday, April 25th. NFL draft first round kicks off tonight. So you know your boy Big Game James had to talk a little bit of NFL draft. And to join me and help me do this is none other than the musicologist. Hey, Reed, what's happening, man?
What's good, man? I know y'all usually see me behind the, behind the table, whatnot. But I'm on the way picking up my kid. I'm doing my daddy duties right now. But I'm in the mix. I'm in the mix.
Hey,
We're gonna do this thing how we usually do it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it, baby.
Hey man, without further ado, hey, life, and daddy duties come first. So I'm glad you handled that, little man. Thank you for sharing pops with me right now for these next 40 minutes. Man, the NFL draft is a moment that I cherish and endure a lot, man. And I had a chance to do a couple shows this week with people asking me about my draft experience. So I'm gonna talk about that just a few minutes. But before I get into that, real quick, I got to give a shout out to my man Reggie Stickman1 at Puff Sip Chat. Puff Sip Chat is a cigar script subscription service. You get 5 premium cigars every month for $39.95. You get one minority and one female-owned cigar. So if you are a smoker and a brother or sister of the leaf, scan that QR code. Check out Puff Sip Chat's Loyal to Ash program. They are off the chain, and they have different programs too that you can go longer. Big Game does the month to month. I like it because I get a variety of cigars and I get to build my humidor up. So if that's your thing, check out Puff Sip and Chat .com. Scan that QR code. Get your cigar subscription now. So, hey Reed, man, the draft is coming up, and it's only the first round. The NFL has done a really good job of kicking this thing off in prime time, letting us enjoy it and making an event out of it.
Yeah,
Shout out to Detroit. The Detroit Lions get to host this thing after the year they had. I know that's going to be big for the people in the Motor City, right? To do
yeah.
their
I know
thing.
they have it. I know they have it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But somebody asked me yesterday what it meant to me to get drafted. And the thing I remind everybody is a lot of people are excited about this first round, but back in 1998, I was excited about all 7 rounds because I didn't know what was going to happen, and I had a chance to really just see if my dream was going to come true, and it did. It's one of those things, man. To all young players that have a chance to go play in the NFL, I tell them all the time: keep your head up, be humble, be hungry, and know that you can only play for one team. So no matter what happens, and no matter what team passes on you, and what team picks you, make the most of the situation because you starting out, you can only play for one, and then when you play for that one, you're auditioning for the other 31. So
Yep.
that's the most important thing that you gotta do and remember when you get into this thing. And then kicking off tonight, before things get started, yesterday the New York Jets and the Denver Broncos made a splash by a trade happening. That's Zach Wilson gets traded from the Denver Broncos. I mean, excuse me, from the New York Jets to the Denver Broncos for a 7th round draft pick. Or wait, excuse me, 6th round draft pick. I think it was Wilson, and a 7th round pick goes to Denver from the Jets. Anyway, even with that being said, is this a sign showing that Denver's going to go in a different direction with, I think, the 12th pick they have in the draft? Or are they still going to maybe pursue a quarterback? Because a lot of people said that Bo Nix could be their guy if available at the 12th pick.
Okay, yeah. So they got the 12th pick, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. At this point, I think Denver better hope that there is a quarterback available. But
Mm.
if I'm not mistaken, it's about six or seven quarterbacks that everybody's kind of looking at. So they have a chance to get it. Um, hey, Bo Nix was from that's the boy from Oregon, right?
Yeah, Bo Nix is from Oregon. Started out at Auburn, transferred to Oregon. He did the grad transfer in COVID year. So Bo Nix comes in as a very experienced quarterback. Did well at Oregon. Had them, I think, 10-3 in that last year there in Oregon. Has some experience, can bring something to the table. But how good, Denver's in a serious predicament. Um, To me, they set themselves back several years just by wasn't another chance. But I know they do need a quarterback. Sean Payton, everything he does really revolves around that quarterback position. And if that doesn't get situated, he's not going to have the success that he wants to have.
Well, I mean, let's just be frank. The whole thing with him and Russell Wilson was just bad, which I still don't understand why you can't make that kind of situation work with a veteran quarterback and a quarterback who's actually, proven to win. He's a winning quarterback. He's won a Super Bowl. They're resetting. Denver is definitely doing a reset. I think that it's going to be very important, especially for that city, for those fans, that they do get a quarterback. Even though they did bring in Zach Wilson, I think their main focus is going to get them a quarterback that they can build around. Now for them, it's building for the future. It's a rebuild for the future. So go ahead and get your quarterback that you can. You know what I'm saying, and just start setting up your pieces after that. So yeah. If they don't go quarterback, it's gonna be some mad fans in Denver.
Yeah, I agree. And that's the thing. Thinking about the draft and talking about the draft, a real shout out real quick. My boy Grandizer. Grandizer, thanks for stopping by, man, and checking us out, man. We appreciate you. Long time no see, man. This draft, it kind of reminds everybody a lot of, they said, the 21 draft. Real quarterback heavy. It's slated that they think 6 quarterbacks can go in the first round. There's 10 quarterbacks rated to where those guys, even if they get picked in the second round, is going to be a great pick. Do you think, Reed, that it's too much of an overemphasis on the quarterback position to where these teams put themselves in a hole by missing on that quarterback that everyone says is going to be a sure thing?
No, I don't believe in that. Because simply put, bro, like, you need a quarterback to win, bro. You need a quarterback to win in the NFL. Now, granted, we've had some teams that have had luck, and I'm gonna use that word luck in a very, I can't say loosely, but I'm gonna just use the word. You've had teams, Tampa Bay, for example, with Trent Dilfer, Baltimore with Joe Flacco, teams that have just gotten lucky with the quarterback that just did his job, within that system. But let's be frank, man. You need a quarterback to get yourself above that hump. Cincinnati, how many times, man? They've been at the bottom of the barrel. Look what Joe Burrow has done within his first 4 years.
But Reed, I'm gonna say this, and you make a good point when you needing to find a quarterback. I totally understand that, and you're right, man. But if you look at Tampa Bay and the quarterbacks that have had success winning there, those quarterbacks weren't drafted.
Yeah, well, see, I don't know the full scale of it, but I'm just saying I don't know about them, being drafted there. But I'm saying, in the grand scheme of it, to win in the NFL, you're gonna need a quarterback. Whether they've been
no doubt, you're
whatever
right.
the case may be, but you're gonna need a quarterback some way, somehow. And the beauty of the NFL, the beauty of how this works, is that, man, it's always a trial and error thing, man. Because we can look at these guys all day and be like, he's gonna be successful, and the next thing you know, they become busts. And I hate to say that, but let's even go back. Look at Jamarcus Russell when he came out.
Ooh, damn, you went there, but that's what they considered a big bust.
Yeah, I'm dead serious. But Jamarcus Russell came out and everybody was like, yeah, he's gonna be good, and look what he turned out to be.
Yeah, but it's not even that, man. Look, just even the guy we mentioned a few minutes ago and before. Hey, Donald Duck, man, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you, bro. Hey, your Carolina Panthers don't pick. Your Carolina Panthers don't pick until pick 33, and that's in the second round. So, yeah, you just watching tonight to see what's gonna be left when you tune in tomorrow after you get off work and everything else. So, hey, look like my man A. Reed made it to his destination. He's gonna transition from the car to his computer. So we're gonna take him off, let him go get set up, and bring him back in a second.
We keep going. We can keep going.
Oh, you good? Okay. Okay. So, um, hold on. Let me see what my man Granddaughter just hit me with. Big Game James, your thoughts on the legal issue of T-Vondre Sweat, the DT out of Texas. How far do you think he will fall his stock? Fourth round currently.
Oh, damn.
Granddaughter, you just pretty much brought up news to me about Sweat. Didn't know what happened on that, man. You gonna make me look into it a little bit more to see what is going on. First and foremost,
Sweat, I think that was that guy from Texas.
yeah, the defensive tackle from Texas.
Yeah, he got into some kind of legal issue or something like that. He got arrested.
Okay.
Or some it had to be some kind of I think it was like some kind of drug charges or something like that they got him for.
Oh. Well, hey, first and foremost, he was a good player, and if he was already projected only, fourth round to later, he's going to drop a little bit, no doubt. But at the same time, once you get out of that first round, I think you still can take a gamble depending on the severity of the legal situation, because it happens every year. The one person that got out of that thought they were gonna fall a little bit. Laramie Tunstall, the drug thing came up. It wasn't an arrest, but just wasn't a good look. The NFL frowns on stuff big time nowadays. We know that, Granddaughter, but at the same time,
Hi, say hi.
hey, what's up, little man? Good to see you. But
it's all good, yeah. But yeah.
It is. But things are gonna happen, and you have to decide whether you're gonna take a chance to roll the dice on this kid making a mistake, and if he's going to learn from it. Look at your you got Smith from Georgia last year, being involved in the car wreck and a teammate dying and still going where he did.
Yeah,
it's it all depends, man. I believe it's going to be an okay situation for him. Like I said, I don't know the severity of what he did. How much trouble he's going to be in, but I definitely want to look into it some more. Legal trouble and other red. So they said other legal trouble and other red flags. Let's look at some right now. What did you on his stock?
it's always a trial and error thing.
And what it was a DWI he got arrested for. Thanks for asking that, Granddaughter. And hey, man, that's never a good look. And let me say this, man, for young people nowadays to be able to know that Uber, Lyft, there's so many other ways to go about doing things, and you still decide to get behind the wheel of a car. Come on, man. I need y'all to be smarter than that, make better decisions. It's just, come on. Choices, decisions, and consequences. If you get drafted, you'll go to the NFL symposium, rookie symposium, and you'll hear them say that this year, and let that resonate with you a whole lot. You got choices, you make a decision, and then for those decisions, you're going to have consequences. Please do the right thing and do what you're supposed to do, and don't just go crazy about, making a dumb decision that can impact your whole future and set you back a long way. But while we get started, we talked about the quarterbacks that's available in this draft. Right now, they say maybe six possible quarterbacks to go in this first round. And Reed, I asked the question earlier only because when it comes down to the quarterback position, I believe so many teams put so much emphasis on that position because of the way it's portrayed by the media. But we know what the quarterback position means for your team. The quarterback position it's a make or break position. We know that because, like you said, you look at what Cincinnati finally got with Joe Burrow, even Buffalo with Josh Allen, and then KC with Mahomes. But then you still have to look at the Jamarcus Russells, the Ryan Leafs, the Zach Wilsons, the Mac Joneses. So much emphasis is put on the quarterback position to where I believe teams can still build to other positions in the draft, find that quarterback they need later, and be a good football team. But it's because they're trying to garner that reputation and that position they think that's going to help sell the tickets. Because at the end of the day, the quarterback position is what sells the tickets. They feel like they need that position, they want that position, and that's what they go for. And I think by doing that, sometimes you really miss out and you don't get what's right for your team.
The quarterback, and that's why I would say like the quarterback is probably the most important position. Because they make or break your franchise. They make or break your season. They make or break your franchise for whatever the next couple of years. And we also have to understand, people, that some of these quarterbacks that get drafted today are going to do good things. But some quarterbacks are not going to do good things in the league. And you can name a number of excuses. The scheme that they drafted to, the coaching, and whatever the case may be. But we've seen it time and time again. Guys have wonderful college careers, and they just can't transfer that into the NFL the way that it goes. So what always makes this interesting when they're looking for a quarterback is which quarterback is really going to be able to fit into a system and hopefully get them to the right, get them in the right direction. I look at guys like, and I know what Donald Duck was saying, like he's like Donald came in there with a Carolina fan.
Yeah, Carolina fan, man.
Yeah, and I look at guys like Bryce Young.
But I don't think Bryce was a bad. Well, let me let you finish your point, Reed, because I don't know where you were going. Let me let you finish your point on that, bro. My bad.
I'm saying I look at guys like Bryce Young, and like you kind of said what I was about to say. I don't think that he was a bad pick, not at all. But then you look back and be like, well, what if Carolina had just ended up picking C.J. Stroud instead,
and not trading away the pick that they're giving away to Chicago right now this year?
You see what I'm saying?
Right, big time.
What if they got C.J. Stroud? Would they have been making that turn that Houston did last season? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's always a hit and miss type thing, bro. Always a hit and miss type thing. So
what's up, Wallace? Thanks for tuning in, man. Hey, Wallace, real quick, but hey, who would you want to see your Atlanta Falcons get? What was that, the 10th pick the Falcons hold, or 8th pick? I can't remember what it is with the Atlanta Falcons. Wallace, who you want to see the Falcons get, man? A lot of people say y'all gonna go edge, man. There's a lot of guys that come off the edge that I think will fit that defense well with Raheem Morris being that head coach. And I hope y'all don't get a couple of them because we see y'all twice a year. But
who's Atlanta's quarterback?
They went and got Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, buddy.
They got
buddy.
Cousins, and I think
yeah, buddy.
You can't go get another one right now that early in the draft and just pay Kirk that money.
No.
I don't think so. I think they addressed the defense, man. But let's go through this real quick. And I posed a question in the chat, man. If y'all want to chime in, I said if you were the Chicago Bears, who would y'all pick with the number 1 pick, man? Y'all let me know because we already know. To me, the Bears should have never traded Fields. They could have doubled up with their picks and got some things that would have worked out very well. They decided to trade Justin Fields. No, pretty much now they're going to take Caleb Williams. I think that's a foregone conclusion. And then who they're going to get next, I don't know. But, this shout out to them. The quarterbacks in this year's draft, and I'm going to put that up for you, Wallace, here in a second. Caleb Williams, of course, number 1 rated quarterback. Drake May, Jaden Daniels, J.J. McCarthy, Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr., and then they said after that to finish out the top 10 best quarterbacks, you got Spencer Rattler for South Carolina, Michael Pratt out of Tulane, Jordan Travis out of Florida State, who suffered the bad injury last year at the end of the season, and then Joe Milton, the 3rd out of Tennessee. So quarterback, there's a lot of talent there to where I believe that Jordan Travis was going to be a good pick for someone because a team that has a quarterback that doesn't need one to come in and start right away, Jordan Travis could be a good pick because of the injury. You can bring him in slowly, have him there on your roster. Spencer Rattler, the kid that was eventually replaced by Caleb Williams at Oklahoma, leaves and goes to South Carolina, kind of has a resurgence. And a lot of people said that he's going to be a steal for someone in this draft, man.
I don't trust that, dog.
But I trust. Hey, you don't shoot the messenger. I feel you.
I don't trust the Rattler, but hey, man, more power to him, though. More power to him.
And then let's see real quick, man. My man, Wallace said we have the 8th pick, and I would like to get Turner because I think he fits better than Verse and Latu. Okay. Turner, not bad pick. Dallas Turner, man.
Yo, Wallace, look. Atlanta gonna make some noise.
Dallas Turner gonna be a good one, man. I think he's gonna be a good edge rusher. And
Atlanta gonna make some noise this year. I give him that.
And Latu out of UCLA, his size scares me. And I'm gonna talk about him a little bit later in this show because I got him penciled in to talk about here for things that we're gonna do. Because before we end the show tonight, Reed and I both are gonna talk about what our teams need and what we want to see them address in this year's draft, right? But that's a very, very solid pick there, Wallace. I think that goes a long way with you guys, and I think that would help out a lot. Granddads are gonna keep the jokes coming all night. Let's see, hey Reed, who do you hope the Bengals draft at number 18? Who that? Okay, now we're gonna talk about that. And Granddads, we're gonna get to that, bro. I really do. I promise you that. Just so that's the quarterback position. And A. Reed has said straight up, point blank, he does not trust Spencer Rattler at all. Me, Buccaneers fan, we re-signed Baker. I'm glad we don't have to look at a quarterback in the draft, period, at all. I'm just glad because I'm the kind of guy, I'm over the quarterback positions in the draft, like to the point where you got to build your team through it. Because the last couple of years of our success, we got Tom Brady, which I know might not be a fair comparison. We got Tom Brady in free agency, won the Super Bowl, and then he leaves. We get Baker. Baker gets us to the second round of the playoffs, has a resurgence in his career, and now that allows us to rebuild our team at other position and key needs and having that quarterback locked in for the next couple of years. I feel really good about that right now. I really do. And I hope I'm not wrong, but I feel good about that.
You should.
So the top 10 rated picks, man, Reed, the people with the top 10 grades. You got Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, Joe Alt, offensive tackle out of Notre Dame, Jaden Daniels, the quarterback out of LSU, Drake May, quarterback out of North Carolina, Dallas Turner, the edge from Bama that, Wallace just said he hopes to get, Rome Aduze, wide receiver out of Washington, J.J. McCarthy, quarterback out of Michigan, and Quinnen Mitchell, the cornerback out of Toledo. Hey, man, can you believe J.J. McCarthy is moving on up like the Jeffersons right now, bro? Like, do you believe he is ready? And I talked to some people, Reed, that said that don't sleep that J.J. McCarthy could be the best quarterback in this draft. I don't believe that, but that's what a couple of my boys have told me that they work in the scouting business.
The best. Wow. See, people get dubbed that, especially when you win your national championship. You start to get dubbed that. Yeah. You're the best at that position. So, I mean, look, I don't expect him to go past 10. I don't expect McCarthy to go past 10. I'll say that much.
That's a good one.
I can't necessarily say it's a work in progress, but he's going to be whoever picks him, he'll be the day one starter. I'll give you that.
Okay. I can see that happening too. And then to get down here to what granddads are asked, I'm gonna go ahead and put this up now because hold on. Granddads, please forgive me because we just couldn't get our schedule together with the Buff Nerd and a couple other folks. So we didn't get the 2024 Buccaneers mock draft without trades from me. I did do some things, and a couple of the guys that I had in that mock draft I'm gonna talk about here in one second. Granddaughter, when you say you scared of his size, Paul, are you talking about Jaden Daniels? Because Jaden Daniels is little. He's what 6'3", but only like 100. He's skinny, dog. He is skinny, and a lot of people are skeptical of his size. And what do they do? Go ahead, Reed. When you're ready, I'll add you, and then
there we go.
All right, cool.
There we go.
So
there we go. We're in the saddle now, people.
Yeah.
Let's get this on and popping.
Wow. So Wallace, you think that the Bears are going to draft Jaden Daniels at the first pick and not Caleb Williams? Now, you could be right. That would throw me for a big old loop. I would not be ready for that, but at the same time, a lot of times when a team doesn't talk about stuff online, and Chicago hadn't come out and said a whole lot. They just said they interviewed these different quarterbacks. They could do something that's unexpected to us because they're behind closed doors. We don't know what those conversations are. And It would be interesting. So yeah, Jaden Daniels, 6'4", 205. That's slim. That's slim for that. That's like my son's size right now in high school. At playing outside linebacker. But anyway, Grandizer, to answer your question, man, big game. I'm gonna bring it up and then talk about it right here. So, big game, James. Who do you want the Buccaneers to draft at the 26th pick? And Grandizer, I said two things. 26, that's the latter third of the first round. So, a lot of those big hype names are going to be gone that people know about. You got to really do your homework. Like going into this draft, we really need interior offensive interior offensive line. Jensen had to retire. So that center position is really big. You look at the best center available in this draft. I don't know if he's going to be there for us, but Jackson Powers Johnson out of Oregon, big, nasty offensive lineman, can play center, can play guard. If he is still there at 26, I want to see the Buccaneers go offensive line and get Jackson. Get Jackson Powers Johnson out of, or those hyphenated last names be messing me up when it's three names to say. But I really think that with us having Mike Evans, with us having Baker Mayfield, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers could go ahead and get the best interior offensive lineman in the draft, and that's Jackson Powers Johnson out of Oregon. I would take him all day long. I think that he comes in, he has a good ceiling. His pass protection has been criticized a little bit for when he's uncovered, but at the same time, when he is on it, and that's what your good pro coaches have to do: teach that kid how to slide protect, teach him how to move, communicate with that offensive guard, identify the Mike linebackers, things of that nature. He will be good at doing that, and I think that's the great pick. So that's what I want to see the Buccaneers do. Now, if he is gone, for some reason, Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been making the University of Washington picks a lot. Troy Fortuna, he's tackle, but he will move into guard because we still need guard help as well. But my dream pick, which I know he's going to be going, would be Jared Verse out of Florida State, the defensive end. If that center's not there, and for some reason Verse was to fall, if not, give me Chop Robinson out of Penn State. Chop has a good grade. The way he plays in the edge, that 3-4 defense we run, those are kind of the picks that I want to see. If for some reason we don't land that offensive lineman at that pick in the at the end of the in the end of the first round, I think that helps us out big time, man. All right, let's see. I thought the Buff Nerd was upset with last live stream. You clowned him good last time. Poor guy. Hey, the Buff Nerd gets upset sometimes. We've been doing our show, man. Like I said, life is busy and things are crazy. The draft going on tonight, and by the time like the Buff Nerds up get home, we couldn't do it. And trying to figure out what his schedule and my schedule. That's why the mock draft never happened this season, man. And I do apologize to everybody about that. But that's kind of what I want to see the Buccaneers do. It's gonna be interesting to see. There's a lot going on right there. I think those are all really good picks. And then I think there's other things I want to see us get later on in the draft, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. But I'm going to give A. Reed to talk about what he wants to see his Cincinnati Bengals do.
Kind of tough because I'm looking at everything that Cincinnati did in this offseason. One of the big things that I liked what they did in this offseason has they shored up that, I want to say, O-line. They shared up that O-line. They got those God man, they on the Brown brothers. What was it? We still got what? It was Orlando Brown and then the other cat. But I can't think of his name right now. I can't like his first name, but I believe that's that O-line. I'm looking at defensive tackle. I've been hearing talks of possibly getting, if he falls down to 18, Brock Bowers.
Boy, if Brock Bowers falls to 18, people on crack. That man, Brock Bowers should be going top 5. But this quarterback thing might push him out.
That's what I'm saying. And I wouldn't be surprised if Cincinnati may move up a trade or something like that to get him. Because he's like, I'm looking at it and he's saying like he's like number 9 on the board.
But man, I mean, just imagine to have another weapon like that.
And Reed, I think you're gonna need it
Joe
because
Burrow.
let's go ahead and put it out there. Your man T. Higgins got the franchise tag, and he's not happy about that. Jamar Chase just got extended, which is good. I mean, the 5th-year option, I think it is. My bad.
Yeah,
But with T. Higgins, I wanted to ask you this. T. Higgins said he came out and he wanted to be traded, and then now your man Hendrickson, defensive end, said that he wants to be traded. So, could you get one of these edge rushers in the first round at 18 if they fall to you? Like Latune Latte out of UCLA might be there, although I think he's small for that. But what y'all play, Dallas Turner I think will be gone. Versus more than likely going to be gone. Penn State has another edge guy. Penn State got 2 guys that's going the first round that played off defensive end.
Yeah.
Chop Robinson is the one slated to go second. And then is it Adisa? I think his name is last name. I could be tearing that up if I am. Please forgive me. But he gets after it. He's pretty damn good too, man. So what do you think, man? They say y'all need wide receiver. According to what most websites, they said that D-line, wide receiver, and cornerback are the 3 positions that the Bengals could really covet the most in this year's draft.
Which I mean, I agree. I can't say that I agree, but the with T coming out saying about him wanting to be traded with this new Trey Hendrickson thing, it kind of messes up the flow a little bit. So then, like, who I have a focus on is almost like I got to take a step back because now I don't know what they're actually thinking, what kind of move that they're going to make. I personally, and they've actually said they don't want to get rid of Trey Hendrickson. And Trey actually came out and said that they hope that they come to a conclusion and everything like that. They can come to a resolution because, whatever the case may be, but they don't plan on trading him. The whole T. Higgins thing, my only thing is if they're going to trade T. Higgins, you need to get somebody of that same caliber or better.
Or big, because you look at the wide receivers in this year's draft. I think the wide receiver class, tight end class, isn't bad at all either. But
no.
I think you should have been working on that prior to.
But see, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think. Do you think a draft day trade is likely?
Anything is possible. I've been thinking that in the back of my head.
Okay.
I've been thinking that in the back of my head that could be possible. If not, let's see what this extension for Jamar Chase is going to be. How much? Because what sucks is when you start looking and seeing how these other teams are paying their players, and their players end up becoming the highest paid at that position.
Yeah.
Who was it? Pina Sewell from Detroit just got re-upped, like I think 120 mil or something like that. He became the highest paid D lineman. You know what I'm saying? Other teams look at that stuff, man, and it's just like, yeah. Orlando Brown, Trent Brown, yeah. Watch out.
Grandizer, my prerogative. Yes,
I
sir.
love it, man. I love it.
Man.
I can see Cincinnati either going Brock Bowers. I can see them going with a defensive tackle, another defensive tackle, because we did lose old boy to Detroit. And then cornerback wise, I know we added your boy from the Ravens. We stole that, which is an amazing pick. So yeah, I'm thinking more defensive.
Okay.
I'm thinking more defensive, but if Brock Bowers is on that board, Cincinnati is going to pull that trigger for that and give Joe another weapon.
I believe that just because of how shaky it is right now with Higgins, I think you do have to go receiver, but I think the right receiver would have to be available to the Bengals at that was it number 18 pick y'all have?
Yeah.
So I mean, you look at it, the way it's ranked out and the way they have these guys on here. Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU is a good one, but is that too high of a pick where he, to take him there when you probably can get a a more effective defensive tackle, and you get somebody later on. Adonai Mitchell out of Texas is another good one that's going to have a good year. I still think that you could probably find a receiver later. I think the defensive line position is going to be the one I would address if I were the Bengals with that pick.
I mean they still got what I think they resigned with this guy with Trent Irvin, who was good. You still got your boy Yoshi that came out of Princeton from last year.
Right.
And then surprisingly enough, Tyler Boyd is still out there. He hasn't been picked up.
True. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I know he's not on the Bengals squad now, but I can see him possibly coming back if he can't, pick up anything. So I mean, I don't think wide receiver is that much of an issue. I think that T. Higgins does play another year with Cincinnati because I think they're going Super Bowl or bust. I feel like it's Super Bowl or bust this year with them.
Okay.
So I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see. I'm gonna be looking just like everybody else to see which direction that they're going to go. I'm gonna be tuned in just like the rest of y'all. So I don't know what y'all gonna do, Cincinnati. Y'all got my heart jumping right now because
I mean,
I'm still rock with it.
This is what I like about the draft, and the one thing I tell everybody, man, so many fans get so pissed and so mad because they get their heart set on somebody, and the team does something else. First thing foremost, I love the passion that football fans have. But at the same time, I want y'all to be a little bit realistic when it comes down to what these teams do. Let me tell everybody, first and foremost, most all general managers, when they in that front office and that coaching staff, when they're in that war room planning and talking about who they're going to get, your feelings do not come into consideration at all, people.
At all.
They do not care what you think, if you boo, if you bash, if you go to social media.
Unless it's just blatant obvious.
Yeah, unless
it's just a blatant obvious pick of what you're gonna get.
Yeah, and if you that blatantly blind and mess up that bad, you're not gonna be in your position long enough anyway to even care what people say. They're gonna make the picks that fit them most. And at the end of the day, when you start booing that young person that's hearing their name called because he's not the person you think fits your team, this is a person that's getting ready to be able to live their dream, man. Regardless if you like them or not, agree with them being picked, be happy for that person in the moment. Be mad at your team later, or give them a chance to see if they even pan out to be what you think they, not gonna be.
Yeah,
because you never really even know. Like, to me, it's the funniest thing in the world, man. Because for the most part, people who protect in the draft and dress up and I love the fans. Fans make the game great, but you also have to learn how to ignore fans because they can make it miserable for you too if you let the little things they do seep in. And on draft night, for those ones that are there, do you think it's cool for that dude to be in that green room and be the last one left? And it's getting towards the end of that round, and you thought you was going to go early, and you was already going to be in the limo going to the airport to get on that team plane and go to that city to do that press conference the next day? That ain't easy at all. You think it's easy for a kid that's walking up to that stage and shake the commissioner's hand and happy he going to your city and all he hear is boo from the handful of fans that's in there?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
come on, man.
That always sucks for me, bro. I hate hearing that.
Granddad said, I've always told fans for decades, don't fall in love with the draft prospect. This is why fans have to do their homework and always have the second, third, fourth. Yeah, because that's the thing. So many people get hell bent on those top picks that are going to go in the first round, maybe second round. And when your team doesn't get that prospect, it's like, oh damn, we got who is this? I don't know him. Because some teams are going to move out, some teams are going to move up. A couple of years ago, the Buccaneers moved out of the first round because of who they wanted was gone. So they moved out. They get Logan Hall, defensive lineman from Houston, in the second round. I wasn't mad at the pick. I wasn't mad they moved out. They had a late pick. I think it was like 30. So they moved out the first round from 30 to get that pick in the second round. Got Logan Hall in the second round. Somebody moved up in the first round, got a pick that worked out for them. It is what it is. At the end of the day, let's see how those kids pan out. Now, this year, Logan Hall's play so far, his 3 years in the league, or 2 years in the league, is making it where it's like the Buccaneers probably got to look to go lineman again later, and that's why edge is on the board as well also. But it's okay. I'm not mad at that because at the end of the day, Logan Hall still had a chance to see what it was like to get that name called, man, and be in the NFL. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. And I know some of y'all go, man, shut the hell up, big game. You just talking like that because you played the game. I did. And it's special. It really was. And like I said, I was the guy when I told a story last night on the Buccaneers anniversary show that I did. I knew I was a second, third day guy. I knew I wasn't going in the first round. I still watched the first round and still cheer for all them dudes getting picked in that year's draft because it's a brotherhood. It's a battle. It's a gladiator sport. But at the end of the day, I want to see everybody win. I want to see everybody that put them blood, sweat, and tears into it get their shot.
All facts.
So I'm happy for them. Now, fans, y'all can say shut the hell up. I don't like what this dude talking about. That's just me and my 2 little cents, man. That's how I feel about the situation. Because at the end of the day, once you go through all 32 picks tonight, Reed, somebody gonna be mad because somebody they really wanted got taken by another team and they don't know the dude that's going to their team. Point blank, period. At the end of the day, it's gonna happen. It don't matter. We're gonna look at it. We're gonna laugh about it. We're gonna do the recap show next week and talk about what our teams got, if we think it's a good pick, or we're gonna talk about wanting to see that kid grow. Because this is the thing. The biggest problem nowadays, before I go off on a tangent, is it's a win now league. And a lot of these coaches need guys to be able to come in and play right away because they don't even have the time to develop them like they want. So you will hear analysts say, oh, he's going to be a project. Man, that first round pick, they scared to find projects. Your projects are for later rounds. I was a project. You know what I'm saying?
While you say that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say this. Don't put a lot of faith in Mr. Mel Kiper. Because time and time again, we've heard what his analysis of things, and it's been completely different when they get into the league. So I'm just saying.
Hey, Grandize, you make a very good point, man. In 2001, I would say this: Drew Brees at Purdue was an amazing quarterback, and I was like, this dude is going to be good in the NFL. He's going to make somebody very happy. Had a very good, great career, did good things, and yeah, a lot of teams passed up on it. What was didn't Drew Brees end up falling to like the 3rd or 4th round to the Chargers? It was something crazy, and look at the success he had. Like I said, you never know, man. You just got to find that diamond in the rough.
Yeah, Cowboys finding Dak in the 4th,
and that's why I wanted the Buffalo Nerd on there because I really want they just extended Michael Parsons. They picked up Michael Parsons' 5th-year option. The Cowboys did. They have not extended Dak. Do you think? And somebody came out today and said this, and what it was, I think it was LaShawn McCoy said that the Dallas Cowboys need to draft Dak Prescott's replacement in this year's draft. Do you agree or disagree with that, A-Reed?
I totally disagree.
Why is Dak not getting no love at all?
It's the Cowboys, bro. It's the Cowboys. I mean, and somebody even I can't remember who was it, man, but somebody else made a statement saying that team there is just they're more concerned of the flair in the name of the Cowboys and star, the symbolism, than they are rather of actually performing on the field. And that's what you get. That's what you necessarily get. And it's like that every single year. I mean, granted, Cowboys had a squad built last year that should have did some work. They had a squad built.
They did, but they didn't. And you know where
should have did work. That should have did work.
They were limited in depth because you look at the end of the day, Reed, they were good, decent up front. They were okay on the back end. I know Diggs got hurt, but they were so thin at linebacker to where tonight. I think that's what they really need to address. I think they need to address the linebacker position and offensive line position is another one that the Cowboys need to address.
They need another receiver.
That too. But for where they pick at 24, I would say get that defender.
They need a running back.
That part too. That part too. You're right, man. You're right. Can't argue those needs of the Dallas Cowboys at all. interesting to see. Again, man, everybody that's tuning in right now, man, we thank y'all. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Again, if you have a team, let us know in the chat below who your team is, what you want to see your team draft. Who do you think the best player in this year's draft is? Like, Reed, a lot of these names that we mentioned earlier, a couple guys I like are like Malik Neighbors is
Mm-hmm.
a good one from LSU. Marvin Harrison Jr. Man, let me say, I played with Marvin Harrison Sr. And to say that
He's a beast.
he was so different because when I was in Tampa, my first year we had we had Bertie Manuel came. We ended up getting him as a free agent. We drafted Jacquez Green, Riedel Anthony, Carl Williams, and then we ended up with Keyshawn Johnson after my second year. And he came from the Jets as a free agent. Keyshawn was the big name wide receiver, the great hands, good wide receiver. But when I got to Indianapolis, I saw something in Marvin Harrison that I had never seen on the NFL practice field and game field. And no slight to Keyshawn or anything else, but these guys would debate who was best, who was good, who this, who would do that. Marvin Harrison was that dude. And to know his son is even a little bit bigger than him, the knowledge that he put into him, the work that he got at Ohio State, the receivers that they've been putting out over the last couple of years, I think, to me, Bears could have kept Justin Fields and got Marvin Harrison with that first pick, and it would have been totally, totally okay to see it go down like that, bro. Like,
I think and it's funny you say that, man, because I've seen Marvin Harrison play, and Marvin Harrison always kind of reminded me of like a newer version of a Jerry Rice.
man, and he took no hits. He would get open, he'd go across the middle, and he took no big shots, man. It was amazing to watch that dude.
Nothing but seriousness. Never, almost like he never showed emotion, but I mean, hands out this world. And I think, man, I think really the funny part is, I think in the whole grand scheme of everybody that's paying attention to this draft tonight, I think we all ultimately want to see his son go to Indianapolis.
That would be crazy, but he won't be on the board that long. I think the Colts hold the 20th pick, bro, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I had the draft order pulled up and my damn computer went crazy and I don't have it up now. Coming to the end of the show, we don't have a lot of time, man. Again, everybody who's in here, thank y'all for tuning in. Really appreciate y'all, man, tuning in and checking us out. If you've never been here before, this is BGSE, Big Game Sports and Entertainment Network, where sports entertainment collide. On Mondays, you can find my man A. Reed on the MCXP Radio, the Monday Man Cave. Reed is always dropping some good stuff, some good knowledge. You can catch myself, Big Game James, and then the Buff Nerd on Thursdays, normally at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. That's Big Game Sports Buzz, with a pro athlete and a sports fanatic to get together to talk everything sports. And then you got my man Ricky T and Dieter on Two Birds, One Show, Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, talking Philly sports and craft beer. Man, we got a wide variety. About to bring the Chop Shop back, trying to figure that out. But y'all make sure y'all tune in, man. Check us out, like, subscribe, smash that bell. Also, another shameless plug, Dubby Energy Drink. You ever even need that little pick-me-up? That's what Big Game got in the bottle right here, because with NBA basketball going on, NFL draft going on tonight, I'm going to be up a long time. Great energy without the crash and the jitters. Dubby. If you go there, you decide to buy some, enter Big Game in the promo code, coupon code, you will get 10% off your order, and you will not be disappointed. Dubby, the energy drink of gamers. I ain't a gamer, but I need that energy. So anyway, man, Reed, at the end of the night, do you have anything that you really like, tradition, when it comes down to watching the draft and enjoying the draft, man? Is it something that you watch all the time, or are you like a peek and go, like after your team pick, then you'll get a recap of everything up?
Usually I watch the whole first round because I'm interested to see what every team is doing. I'm about to, man, once we get off, I'm gonna go ahead and throw on my Cincinnati Bengals shirt. Represent my squad. Hey, Granddad is a good day. Good luck. Appreciate it. I'm gonna be in the mix, man. And like you said, you got your hat on. I'm probably have my hat on, my shirt. Yeah, but I'm gonna be paying attention to every single team. You know, and that's usually what I it's football season, man. It's football.
Right,
Like,
right. I feel
I
you.
love it, man. I love it. So anytime this comes around, like this is like the draft is the beginning of the new season for me.
Right, exactly,
You
man.
know, it's the beginning of the
Exactly.
new season. So, you know, I can't miss it, man. I can't miss it. So I'm there with everybody else.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It comes down to me. My wife laughs at me, and she hates draft weekend because my behind will watch all 7 rounds. And this weekend, I'm not gonna be able to do that on Saturday, man. Shout out, my son got invited to TCU to watch the spring game for football and to meet with the coaches and everything like that. So,
Shout out to your
you know what I'm
son
saying?
doing
We
big
we,
things,
we
boy.
hoping that this young Canada is gonna be the next great thing coming out the household because we all know that Mrs. Canada is the best athlete in the house. You know what I'm saying? She did
Speak
her
on it.
she did her thing on the hardwood, man. So anyway, so I won't be but normally, man, my tradition is, man, the whole first round. I definitely always interested in seeing what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are gonna do, and I like seeing what everyone else in our division is gonna do. I want to see what
Yeah.
everybody else in the NFC South gets, how we compare, what it's going to look like. And I know not too long after the draft that more than likely I'm going to be on the NFC South roundtable with P&P Panther Nation's podcast. My boy Big Q from the Sports Coma, and then my man Big Low Country for Low Country
Big
Sports.
law.
You know, the Atlanta
Yes, sir.
Falcons, and me being the Tampa Bay representative. We're gonna get there and we're gonna talk our trash, talk our smack about who did what in the draft and what that season gonna look like. But my tradition is load up, watch it, see what our division does, see who goes where, and at the same time, if any, see if anybody from my university gets picked, where they get picked. That's another reason I like to watch the entire draft. And then I'll shout out, all those guys from the University of Nevada, tell them congratulations. If they ever need anything, knowledge or advice, they can reach back out to the old head and I'll give them the best advice that I can, what helped me make it in my career, what helped me have some success. And some of the things I did that probably sped up the end of my playing career that they can probably try to avoid.
Mm,
Just little things like that, man. But at the end of the day, I'm so excited. Like you said, it's the start of a brand new season. We get a
mm.
chance to get excited to look forward to what's to come of every of our team and how things are going to look. And at the end of the day, guys, there's no winners and there's no losers when it comes to the draft. At least not within the first 2 years. We don't know
Mm.
what's going to happen before probably that 3 year mark with a lot of these picks. I hope these teams don't miss on these quarterbacks like they did a couple drafts ago. I hate seeing that happen. I hate kids getting labeled bust because there's so much hope and expectation that goes into what they're supposed to do for that team, and then
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
can't do it later on. So
Everybody that gets drafted tonight is a winner, y'all.
everybody that gets drafted in
Period.
any of these 7 rounds.
Period.
Hey, and think about it, y'all. Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant. And look at what he's doing now. You never know how it's gonna go
It
down
tells you.
and what's gonna happen.
It
So
tells you.
anyway, man, for my man A Reed, the musicologist, y'all make sure y'all check out Monday Man Cave here on the BGSE network. Y'all
Yeah,
check
yeah.
me out on Big Game Sports Buzz. Check us all out on the Sports Chop Shop. And if you ever miss any of those shows, the link will be below in the description after a few minutes as it's posted. You can always find us, man. And happy drafting to everybody. I hope your team goes out and finds everything that you want them to have. But until next time, the musicologist I read, your boy Big Game James. We will see you later. Peace.
Y'all take it easy, man. Good luck.